Hey folks, what's going on? It's me, Andrew Westmoreland, back again with yet another video, and we have a really weird, freaky, sort of diplomatic incident that just happened. Well, it didn't just happen. This has been ongoing for about an estimated 9 months. So apparently Cuban diplomats, American diplomats in Cuba have been experiencing unexplained hearing loss. Now, this is something that was under investigation. It was something that was quietly a concern until recently. They actually revealed that they discovered multiple sonic devices that were placed near the embassy, near the ambassador's home, staff members' homes in Cuba. Now, this is just a weird story. You know, obviously I'll go through this information, but I just wanted to mention, like, off the top of your head, you just imagine that this would be like some weird sci-fi sort of thing, that this isn't real life. Unfortunately, we do have future tech. We do have future weapons now, and these directed energy weapons, these sonic weapons, these things are real now. You know, we have like laser weapons that are basically, you can't see them, you know, you can't hear them. If you get hit with it, you're just dead. You're gone. You know, when it comes to these sonic weapons, they've been in development for at least 20 years now, and now we're at a point where obviously they could be small enough to be weaponized for like area of effect quietly and place in places of strategic value, apparently. So the scary thing about these sonic devices is, from, you know, obviously the public does not know a whole lot about this, but based on the information we know, they are inaudible to the human ear. So that means that they are being broadcast on a frequency that is inaudible to humans. We can't hear it, and this is the thing. So obviously there's different ranges of amplitude and whatnot. Apparently this was something that was at a low enough amplitude that we are assuming it didn't have to be connected to an actual power source. It's not a very large device. It is fairly small. That I guess this is assumption here. Just want to make that clear. I'm not 100% sure, but we're assuming it's a small device that could have been battery powered, placed covertly somewhere, and it could have just been sitting there for weeks and months before hearing loss really began to take effect. Obviously, if it was a high enough power level amplitude, it could happen within minutes. You wouldn't even hear it. All of a sudden, you would just start noticing that you can't hear. That is scary. So, multiple diplomats and staff members have actually been withdrawn from the embassy in Cuba to seek medical care. Obviously, they're being targeted by someone. The State Department, Heather, I cannot say her last name, Newart, I think is how you pronounce that, the spokesperson for the State Department, is not giving us a whole lot of information. I was actually just watching a press conference where she was going over some of this stuff, and she doesn't want to confirm anything really. She's stepping back from what we've actually already discussed. So there was also some indication that there may be a third party involved. Obviously, we are looking at the Cuban government as being the perpetrators of this. But you know, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't sound right. Pun not intended. And it may very well be a third party, a third country that is trying to essentially frame the Cubans for whatever reason. You know, these weird spy BS happens a lot. So essentially everything that you need to know here is that Cuba is being blamed, and this really started sparking off back in May. Now, America quietly expelled 2 Cuban diplomats working in the United States as a retaliation to this incident, and did not tell the public whatsoever. They didn't inform the press. There's no press conference. There's no press release issued. And it's just now coming to light, which is very unusual, and it would suggest that something more serious may be happening behind the scenes regarding, you know, the whole intelligence community and whatnot. Some sort of active threat or, you know, covert wars happening. And they didn't want to release this to the public. Somehow it got out, possibly leaked. But we just need to understand that this is another new threat that we will have to face in the future. You know, everyone's worried about North Korea, which I intend on covering again with those latest updates. But ultimately, the new threat now is these new technologies. The unseen, unheard weapons of the future are here. They are relatively affordable, and expect to see an increase of these attacks. You know, like I said, if you can't see it, if you can't hear it, and you just get hit by it, well, you know, that's the ultimate terrorism, right? Especially like an audio device. Okay, well, some may say, well, it's not fatal, sure, okay, but it's still hurting people. It's damaging them. It's making them unable to hear. Now, we're not sure if this is going to be permanent hearing loss, but it may very well be, depending on the like I said, the amplitude, the frequency of the sonic weapon, as well as the duration that they were in the proximity of the waves. So it's unfortunate. It's weird. It's creepy, and it is just one of these things that, like I said, without trying to be too repetitive here, one of these things that we're just going to have to keep an eye out for the future. Hopefully we're not going to live in some weird dystopian future. Everyone's got earplugs, they've got like goggles on, you know, they have respirators, and everyone's like trying to protect themselves from every possible threat. People don't want to leave their homes. Let's just try and not get there, okay? You know, still, you know, most of these things are still incredibly rare, and the chance of you being a victim is you probably have a higher chance of winning the lottery, to be completely honest. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to link you down in the description below a couple articles so you can look at this for yourself. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please comment down below and let me know what you think. You already know what I think. I think this is crazy and weird and unexpected for sure. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button for content, usually about 5 days a week. And as always, if you've seen some of my work, you like what I'm doing here, and you want to contribute just a little bit more, please consider donating to Patreon. If Patreon is not your thing, please consider going to paypal.me/DrewWest. So thank you so much for watching, and remember that I'm your centrist voice of reason in a time of hyper-partisan lunacy. See you next time, folks.